Now to politics. Despite several sensitization against usage of vulgar and abusive language by political parties and their candidates, some politicians and political parties have been found wanting. According to INEC, abusive, slanderous or base language likely to provoke violent reaction or emotions should not be employed or used in political campaigns. Well, to discuss this further, legal expert and political affairs analyst Ufeli joins me now. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, it's been barely 2 weeks since the kickoff of the official opening of campaigns in Nigeria ahead of the 2023 elections. But we've seen some politicians actually using abusive languages against other parties. And recall that a peace pact has been signed to prevent violence during the elections. But what do you make of this recent development? And do you think somehow Nigerian politicians can grow out of the habit of actually throwing insultive words at other parties and make sure that their campaign is actually issue-based?
Yeah, our politicians have developed that very sad and unfortunate habit of making utterances that are inflammable, utterances that will incite the supporters of one party against the other. The essence of the peace pact, which they signed, the peace accord that they signed, is to ensure that they use continent language, they behave themselves according to the dictates and principles of law, so that they don't create infractions that may lead to breakdown of law and order. But what we have seen so far since INEC opened the floodgates for campaign, it has been from using one abusive word or the other from virtually all the presidential candidates of the parties in questions. Recently, the presidential candidates of the APC have called the PDP party of termites, okay? Using such word is quite very unfortunate. It is unfortunate because 2023 election is going to be a turning point in the history of Nigeria. And the last thing we want to talk about is crisis. We have the crisis of poverty already. We have the crisis of insurgency. We have the crisis of banditry and the host of other social vices that are permeated the socio-economic and socio-economic situation of the Nigerian state. So politicians should be cautioned, because apart from the fact that none of them really have any visible manifesto, which is annoying enough, they come out to make utterances like some of them come out to tell you how they are going to change Nigeria, how they are going to exterminate poverty, how they are going to make sure that they don't give you, they just tell you that they are going to exterminate poverty. They don't tell you how. They don't give you. What is expected of them is for them to unveil their manifesto and then canvass issues and arguments based on economic solution. That is what we need. Nigeria does not need this using of derogatory words, casting aspersion on people because of they believe in a political leaning and all that. And this also goes to the followers and the supporters of this presidential candidate. It's not just the presidential candidates that are using vulgar words, abusive words, and casting aspersion on people. Their supporters are also doing the same. You understand? So many persons are already cocooned in their belief system, such that they are so intolerant. They are so fixated in partisan obscurantism that they are unable to see the other side of the divide, that politics is not a do-or-die affair. It is not war. We are not preparing for war. We are preparing for a transition, and that transition must be constitutional, and we must look at the INEC also have released the guidelines, which they made public, which they sent to all the political parties. And in the guidelines, it is clear that there should be no issues of this kind, these issues we have right now. So it is left for us to caution them and then make sure that we at all times, infuse that message in all our conversation, that this is going to be a peaceful election, and all we need is to maintain peace and order for the transition that is required, because the work ahead for us is far, far bigger. We need to do a lot in this country.
Evans Ufeli, legal expert and political affairs analyst, thank you very much for your time and your contribution.